Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, so it's already time to get into another one. And you already know we are getting back into a rewatch of The Boys. We already got into 1 and 2 last Tuesday, and we're going to be getting into episode 3 and 4. And episode 3 is called Get Some, so let's get it. The Boys this show holds absolutely nothing back as we open right up where we left off, and Huey is just completely covered in translucent. I mean, it is just the way the blood spatter was falling off him kind of looked the same way that it looked when A-Train ran through Robin, like this tight little callback, but just gruesome as hell. And then they literally are using shovels to scoop up all his bits. And Huey tries to leave and go get some fresh clothes. And Billy's like, nah, we'll go ahead and get those for you. I mean, in that situation, you could not stop me from going straight home and getting a shower on. I mean, I don't care who you are. I got to go wash these brains out of my hair. That's incredible. Incredible. Don't even have any hair, but I'd still be out. But even though they found a way to kill Translucent, they still have a problem with disposing the body somewhere that the soup can't find it. I mean, in the water, the Deep's going to find it, and the boy's got X-ray vision, so I mean, he's going to still be scoping, looking for him until he finds him. So, yeah, it's tough to keep a body hidden like that. It'd be tough. You can't just bury it. I don't know though, because they ended up putting it in that box that Homelander can't see through. So if they're going to do that, why not just bury it somewhere in the ground? But they didn't, because we're going to find out later they actually wanted him to find that body. But Billy just puts the remains in a trash bag and lines it in that metal box and then blows the whole restaurant up, and we are off to another great start. Like I said, I am absolutely loving this one. I think this one's pretty tight. And then Starlight hesitantly knocks on Ollie with an eye's door and thinks it must be trouble. She might be in trouble for beating up those date rapers, but it's just the opposite. She's absolutely pulling through the roof. And again, we see right and wrong have nothing to do and no meaning with this company. They just do exactly what the polls say because it's all about that bottom dollar. And how ridiculous was it for you're saving a girl from being raped and they want to you're basically just saved a girl from being raped and they want to put you in this Vegas hooker outfit. What are they thinking? I don't know. It's if she's really pulling that high, shouldn't she have had a lot more power and been able to say, what she wants to wear and have a lot more pull in that situation? I think she's just naive. I think she actually did have a lot more pull and just didn't know how to use it. But when Allie went and I just straight gave her the ultimatum, she should have called her bluff with that. Been like, I'm the one pulling through the roof. You want to dump me? Try to explain why. But no, she again, there's no way she can afford to, they couldn't afford to dump her with those numbers, but she didn't know it. So she basically caved, and we see later that, yep, she fell to the bluff and she's wearing that damn thing, but I don't know. I think she should have been smarter than that. She can't be that naive. But as Huey walks through his door, we hear the race of the century is being hyped on ESPN and A-Train versus Shockwave, and we find out later this race actually has major consequences. And Huey heads up to his room and has a complete meltdown as he's thrashing and throwing stuff around, but then he sees a picture of Robin, and it seems to remind him of why he's doing all this. And I mean, it was Translucent who attacked him in the video store and threatened his life, so what is a man to do? And then Huey had some pretty harsh words for his dad. I don't know, was that warranted or was that a little over the top, saying he just sits on the couch like he's already dead? I mean, you want to give your pops a little wake up call, but that seemed a little ruthless. But next we head back to get introduced to Mother's Milk. And I mean, a greater name I think hath never been uttered, because he's looking around after troubled youth and seems to be doing a hell of a job. But have you ever heard of a character's name, Mother's Milk? Or a better name than Mother's Milk? I mean, come on. Whoever thought that one up was ridiculous. That was awesome. But he heads to his office and finds Billy waiting there, and he's just instantly like, oh, hell no. No, I'm not dealing with you. But he says his girl is back and spits on the ground every time Billy's name comes up. It just seems like Billy leaves a wake of misery everywhere he goes. Should people just stay away from this cat? I don't know. But we find out Billy's endgame and is wanting to bring down the Seven and the company Vought that backs them. So, I don't know. We already know they're evil. So, I don't know. Maybe Billy's onto something. But Mother's Milk calls it like it is and says that this is all about Homelander and some woman named Becca. And what happened? Did Homelander steal Billy's woman or end up killing Billy's woman like he's done some other basically innocent bystanders. Like, who is this Becca woman? Is that what drives Billy's hate? Did Homelander kill one of the love of his life or something like that? Like, inquiring minds need to know. But you bringing Frenchie back? He's like, I can't work with that motherfucker. And Billy's like, oh, no, I haven't seen that guy in years. Just lies right to his face and says he's the only one he can trust. Like, is there any good or redeeming qualities about this man? Like, I'm not so sure. I mean, at least Mother's Milk knew he was full of shit right out of the gate. So, I mean, at least he's coming in with both eyes wide open. But Homelander's in Madeline's office, and he's a bit irritated. He's like, can't you make it stop? And he's like, he doesn't even like the coos of a baby. Like, how evil is this guy? And then he's like, he's still worried about his boy Translucent. And I don't know, he's a little perturbed that nobody else seems to be taking it seriously. And actually, it's like, why is nobody else taking it seriously? Like, they have a superhero missing in action, and nobody seems to give two shits about it. It is kind of weird. But Madeline tries to give Homelander some talking points, and he acts like he's not gonna let her tell him what to do. But as soon as she drops the name Mr. Edgar, he shaped up real quick. So who is Mr. Edgar that commands all this respect? Like, he looks like he even had a little fear of this guy. Like, who? You didn't think Homelander was afraid of anybody. Now all of a sudden he's afraid of some guy named Mr. Edgar? Like, what's up? Like, that's just crazy. He seems like he wants no part of Floor 82. So then we get over to Huey and Frenchie, and they get over. They're in the back of the truck, and we see just how much Mother's Milk despises Frenchie, because like the second they see each other, they're just right at each other's throats. Like, they're ready to kill each other off the get. It's like, what happened with this so-called Mallory that just makes them hate him so much? It's like, we got a lot of questions being formed up in this one. And like, how sweet was it that like Mother's Milk's ringtone for his woman Monique was the Rick Roll anthem? I was kind of dying on that one. Like, you got to be kidding me with that. So the crew are out staking out Pop Claw's place, and Translucent said her and A-Train were seeing each other, and they're hoping he'll show up. And Huey shows he's actually like a helpful addition to the team by telling him how easy it'd be for him to hack into her camera system. He just needs 5 minutes inside the house. So as soon as he goes in and gets it done, and while he's there, Mother's Milk seems to notice something. And I don't know, did you guys even notice what that was at first, what he was seeing? And then on the way out, they actually run into A-Train. But luckily, he meets so many people all the time and just doesn't really care about anybody but himself that he didn't even recognize Huey when he was right in front of his face. Good thing for them, because that would have been curtains for them right out of the gate. It would have been end of story. What's up, Celebrity Bikini? I see you out there. How you doing? Oh, you haven't seen the 4th episode yet? Feel it. Oh, man, absolutely. Feeling all right. But yeah, man, I'm trying to get through this first season. I've already watched the entire first season, trying to get through these 2 at a time so I can get into season 2, because it's been out forever and people are talking, and I'm trying not. It's hard not to get any spoilers. I want to watch it kind of fresh, so trying to get through this one as fast as possible so I can watch season 2. But back at Vought, we see Queen Maeve training, and she's easily kicking the crap out of 3 guys at once, and she gets a call, and she has to go meet Homelander in another emergency that seems to be just another day at the office for them. But he's much more concerned about Translucent missing than this minor annoyance. And can you imagine like what it'd be like to walk around with that much power? Like, where just nothing on Earth can even harm you? I don't know, that'd be crazy. And it doesn't take Queen Maeve long to realize Homelander's worry about Translucent is really about an attack on him and his ego, and he just can't have that. So, yeah, she breaks him down real quick. She seems to know exactly what Homelander's about. And it was funny to hear him, like, bring up points, like, again, the fact that Queen Maeve's are down, her points are down, and, like, is it really just about publicity with all these suits? Like, it seems like the biggest jabs he can give these guys is talking about their points being down and how they're down in their own polls, and yeah, don't have the popularity that they should at any point given time. That's just kind of crazy. We also hear that he's more than a little irritated that he has to attend A-Train's stupid race. Like, it doesn't seem like Homelander has much love for any of these suits. And he also seems to be annoyed at how they're the ones, like, with the powers, but when Allie with an eye or Mr. Edgar snap their fingers, just they all jump. Like, we're the ones with the power. Why are we bowing and bending to these cats? So I need to see what this Mr. Edgar is really all about. And he and Maeve enter the room with the shooter, and the Queen makes quick work of him, and he's already subdued. And then Homelander just walks up to him and punches his fist right through the guy's chest. I was like, I don't know. And then gets mad at him basically for getting blood on his gloves. Like, just how big a psychopath is this guy? Like, it just seems to get deeper and deeper every episode. And then we hear that Homelander and Queen Maeve used to date. Like, you think she misses being his woman? I mean, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like she just despises this guy. So, like, when they were even dating, like, was it even because she wanted to or because you have no choice? This guy's basically like, there's no stopping him, and he's going to do what he wants when he wants, which, again, just what a crazy situation having that much power. Like, where nothing can stop you. That'd be weird. But she didn't seem to be thrilled by the way Homelander handled the situation. And, like, does she want to stop him from doing these things but just doesn't have the power to? Or is she just annoyed, like, he's stepping on her toes, and that's what's really bringing her points down? Like, all these things that she's supposed to be bringing in and bad guys she would be bringing in front of the cameras, he just kills so they can't even take pictures or have any publicity for it. But next we see the crew perving on A-Train and his woman getting freaky, and poor A-Train can't get into it because he's too worried about the race, and he's been told if he loses off, he is off the 7. So he's all freaked out about that, doesn't want to lose his status in life. But we find out the Compound V we heard the Governor talking about is actually real, and it sounds like it's crack for superheroes. Like, this is what A-Train was amped on when he ran through Robin, which that explains a lot, and I don't know, we're going to get into that more, but that's just crazy. And we also find out just how strict the Vought company is, like controlling everything down to even who the Supes can date. Like, they're not even allowed to date who they want. Like, just every aspect of their life is controlled. That would be so lame. Could you live like that? I think that'd be ruthless. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So every Bikini says he could take Homelander, though. He's not worried about it at all. Oh, man. Yeah, that would just be ruthless. I mean, just having to deal with somebody like that where there's literally nothing you can do to this person, that'd just be crazy. But A-Train is obviously just using Popclaw for a connection to the drugs. And, like, with a body like that, shouldn't you just dump him and move on? Like, what are you doing? Just get out of there. But maybe it's just too much juice dating a superhero and she's actually missing him, or maybe she's actually using him to get back into the limelight. Who knows? Maybe they'll get back. Maybe they'll show that later. But Buzz is excited, and he thinks he just found like the chink in the armor that the Supes made just be regular people, and they're amped up on super juice. And I like how Frenchie was all like, "I could run some tests, but I won't truly know unless I actually take some." Like, is he just being an addict, or is he trying to get some superpower heroes for himself, or some superpowers for himself? Because I was like, he's like, "Oh man, I could test it, but we won't know for sure unless I actually put it in myself." I'm like, man, you junkie. He just wants to be able to fly or something. That'd be sick. But Huey lets us know that he doesn't feel remorseful for killing Translucent. It actually made him feel better. And then he says, whatever the price, he's willing to pay it. Like, he's in for real. But I don't know. You guys think he is really in for real, or will he just basically cower the next time he's in a real pickle? And then we see Starlight folded like a paper bag. She just, I have to admit, I didn't hate her new outfit, but when she showed up to the race with Black Noir, I was like, you did fold. That was kind of lame. Do we even know what Black Noir's superpower is? Like, that's just crazy. We keep seeing this cat, and he seems to be like one of the good guys, maybe, but I don't know. We don't even know what his power is. But May's giving an interview, and it looks like more than just a little annoyed when Homelander flies in and steals her thunder. And are these two going to come head to head soon? And like, if so, how's that going to turn out for Queen Maeve? Like, we already know there's nothing that can basically stop Homelander. So I don't know. Is she just get mad and get her neck snapped or what? But Homelander's reminiscing and asking why he and Maeve ever broke up, and she has no desire whatsoever to crack open that tawdry little chapter. And I don't know. You guys think Homelander would have been an abusive boyfriend? I mean, you already know there's nobody that can touch you. Well, is there even a need? I don't know. And he can't really be abusive. He'd kill somebody if he tried to hit him. So I don't know. That's crazy. But I bet like he'd mind trip he was. Oh man, psychologically abusive. But it sounds like he's a super stalker, and even though they're not together, he says like basically she's not allowed to date anybody else. I was like, damn, Homelander, clingy much? Like, nope, I can't have you. Nobody can. And Huey notices like Annie, the girl that he met on the bench last episode, was actually none other than Starlight. And she's getting ready to walk in on Frenchie breaking into the Soup's locker room. And again, why are the men and women superheroes sharing the same locker room? I mean, they have like, this is $1 billion company they're backed by, and they never seem to be able to secure different rooms for the males and females to change in. Like, I don't know. A-Train was walking around in his underoos for most of the time in there, so shouldn't they maybe had like different rooms for them? So I thought that was kind of crazy. But Huey talks Starlight into a nachos and a beer speed date, and again, these two really hit it off. Like, is there really a chance these two are going to end up together? And then A-Train had the compound V, and he had it hidden too well, and our crew couldn't find it. But Mother's Milk checks the video feed of Pop Claus and gets an idea. Is he about to act on whatever he saw in her place earlier? I think that's what he's talking. That's what got him doing that. And then was that brave or stupid for Billy to like stare down Homelander at the race, letting him know he was there? I mean, you already know what this person can do to you. He could, with his eyes alone, he could zap you from there. It's like, what are you thinking? And then A-Train seemed to absolutely smoke Shockwave in that race. Like, A-Train beat Shockwave so bad in that race, do you think he even needed the compound V? Like, didn't it? I mean, if he won by that much, he probably would have won without it. So, I don't know. I don't even know if he really needed the V, but he wasn't taking any chances. So Mother's Milk heads back to Pop Claus to see her eyeing a vial of V, and he tells Billy to get there ASAP. And she watches the winner's interview and is none too pleased when he's asked about his special girl, and he tells the ladies that she doesn't have one and he is open for business. So Pop Claw can't take it anymore, and she doses with the V, and we then get a training montage with her, and it seems like it gives her super strength. And it looks like what Mother's Milk saw earlier was Pop Claw's fix bag, and he knew if he watched long enough, he would see the addict kick in. So while she's still jacked on V, Alec the landlord shows up looking for the rent, and of course she doesn't have the money, so they come to another arrangement, and she lets him play out a sexual superhero fantasy, and this just does not turn out well for him, as she was too high to realize her super strength was still on, and squished his head like a melon. Like, that was so gnarly, and what a way to go. I mean, can you imagine? My God, that's just ridiculous. But she freaks, and this gives Billy and the boys the option or the opportunity they need to get in and get some info on this compound V. And back at the Heroes later, we get the Deeps. We see that the Deeps found the box that they stuffed Translucent in, and it had a little message for the Heroes. We are coming for you. And I was like, oh my God, fade to black. Like, this was an absolutely fantastic episode. I love this one. I was liking it. You saw 3. What'd you think about that one, Celebrity? What'd you think about episode 3, Jake? You like this one? I know you're not liking the bully part of the boys, but I mean, the way they put a twist on everything, I think is amazing. I think it's pretty tight. Like I said, I can't wait to get through this season and jam on to season 2 and get going with it, because yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, just exactly what I think of superheroes. I think what it would be like with superheroes today. Like I said, with all that power and nobody can stop you, what are you gonna do? You can do whatever it is you want to do. But we're going to roll right into The Boys episode 4, and this one's The Female of the Species. And this week opens up with Billy getting some love in. And this a flashback of the woman he lost to the Soups. And he wakes up and we see he was dreaming, but who was he dreaming of? Like, is this the Becca that Mother's Milk was talking about in the last episode? And was that the woman that he was watching on Spy Cam? Like, was that the same woman he was in bed with in his dreams? Like, I didn't see how that correlated. They kind of jumped through that. But Billy surprises Agent Raynor at her office, and she's acting like she wants nothing to do with them. And I don't even understand, why does everybody even put up with Billy? Like, he seems like just an arrogant asshole that just leaves a wake of misery. So why even deal with this guy? Just beat feet. But Agent Susan tells Billy, like, if he can get her some hard evidence, like, she may be able to throw a little money his way for the operating cost. And Billy says deal, then immediately calls Pop Claw to apply some added pressure for the details on where A-Train's getting the V. But I thought that last episode, that he showed that he had a little vial of it. So I thought that was kind of weird. And then the crew are staking out the noodle place Pop Claw thinks may be a clue, and they find a delivery guy who's packing, so they follow him to an old mart in Chinatown, and they watch him disappear into a back room where they follow him in, and they find this little young Chinese girl caged up in the very back. If you go into some shady-ass shit like this, and you're down in the back room of the back room, down in the dungeons, and you see some little thing caged up, I don't know. I mean, you think, I don't know. I might go back and put a gun to somebody's head and ask some questions, but I don't know if I just immediately let her out when you know you're living in a world of superheroes. Like this day and age, yeah, I'd let the little girl out and we'd be out. But in this world where you know superheroes exist, I think I might ask a few questions first. Because you never know. There could be a good reason she's actually in a cage. But Frenchie decides to free her, and she instantly makes short work of the men that were holding her. And the last one even took his own life instead of having to deal with her. It's like, what is she that she's so scary that he'd rather take his own life than try to? I mean, he had a gun. He wasn't even going to try to shoot her. He's like, nope, not even going to go there. Just ended it himself. So she's got to be something crazy powerful. And our crew end up hiding in the cage that was holding her because they're afraid they'd be next. And would she really hurt them after she's the one that freed them? Like, if they freed her, maybe she wouldn't be, I mean, maybe she wouldn't have killed them. Or maybe she's just a rabid animal and she would have killed everybody. Who knows? Better safe than sorry, I guess. But then we see the Deep working on his, like, mental health. And it seems like he really is, like, the laughing stock of the soups. And he gets little to no respect from anybody. So this guy's just feeling it on all ends, which he should. What a douche. And then back in the dungeon, and while the crew are looking for Cruz, Starlight texts Huey, and Billy instantly gets all nosy and then tells Huey that he's got a going on that date and that Huey needs to tap her phone. And I'm like, would you do that? I think I'd have told Billy to piss off in that situation. Like, I don't know. He's actually starting to catch some feels for Starlight and has a chance at dating this beautiful superhero. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's time to change paths and get away from this Billy douchebag. I don't know. I'd have told Billy to jump in the lake if he would try to grab my phone right there. But Huey tries to say that Starlight isn't that bad, and Billy's like, she's a soup, just like the rest of them. And I'm like, I don't know. Do you think Huey's ever going to be able to stand up for himself? Like I said, I think Huey should have told him to piss off. Like, nope, she is not. She's a good one. Get on your girl's side. But over in the Vought building, and their think tank is trying to come up with a cover story for why Translucent hasn't shown his face in a while. And I don't know. They're like, these guys seem to do more harm than good. But I don't know. Like I said, I kind of like that suit they came up with Starlight. But for the general story, it was a terrible idea. But NORAD gives Vought a tip that there's a plane that has been hijacked. And Allie with an eye says this is their way in. If they can bring these passengers back alive, that there's no way a congressman would stand in the way of this bill that they're trying to get passed. So we pan back over to Frenchie, and he hooks up with this woman who gives him a special gas to knock out the wild child. But before letting him grow, grabs his package tight and says, make sure I don't have to use that gas on you. And I was like, you have to appreciate the true love that goes on in the show. Speaking of true love, A-Train gets back over to the mini mart with the V, but it's already crawling with cops, cleaning up the carnage left by the little Ripper, so he has to jam back to Pop Claus. And Allie with an eye is on an important phone call trying to get an update on the plane that's been hijacked. And while she's on the phone and trying to get this important information, she gets a little visit for the Deep, who just can't seem to take a hint. And then we are finding out that he is just the lamest in all aspects. Like, she's on this super important mission trying to basically get their future secured, and he comes in talking about trying to save this dolphin that he's trying to get freaky with. Like, the Deep is just the loser of all losers all the way around, it seems. It's crazy. Oh, man. You're starting to like it a little bit better now, but it's still too much. This is definitely too much. I mean, this is way over the top, but I mean, I don't know. The right thing is what you do, absolutely. But yeah, I love this show. I think is just the perfect amount of over the top. I absolutely love it. But speaking of lame, A-Train heads straight back to Pop Claus and accuses her of telling somebody about the V, and she denies it. And he tries to sweet talk her into telling him, but who she told. And she stays strong, but he knows better, and he tells her to go pack a go bag, like they need to run before Homelander finds out. And I'm like, man, you may be the fastest man in the world, but where are you going to run that Homelander couldn't find you? I think Popclaw should have realized that too and been like, she should have kept her head on a swivel. But again, what could she really do against A-Train? Like, that's just it. Against these soups, you really have no choice. You're going to do what they want or you're going to get got. That sucks. But the young Ripper heads into a manicurist, still bloody from the fight, and I literally thought she was going to take a seat and be like, I need the works. But no, she was just there to exact revenge on another that wronged her and slit open that woman in the back. And oh my God, the carnage that we saw that she made her later, like, good Lord, that was like a revenge killing or something. Like there were some emotions wrapped up in that one because she just slaughtered that woman. It was ridiculous. And then we see the Deep on a commercial for the same place he was asking to take down. And is he going to go rogue and try to free the dolphins from Oceanland that he was trying to talk Madeline into doing? Seems like he's just hellbound on some caper to get them out of there. And then pan down to the lanes, and we see Huey and Starlight on the first date. And for being a total dweeb, he's actually got some skills when it comes to the ladies. Like, now that he's upped his game to dating a soup, shouldn't he really just tell Billy to go piss off at this point and see where this relationship heads? It's like, dude, why would you screw this up? I mean, how rare is it to get here? You're never going to get here again. Like, you need to pursue this path. But when the ball crashes into the pins and it's a little too loud, we see that our boy Huey still has some PTSD, and this may become a problem with all the stuff he's trying to pull off. And Huey, out of left field, asks Starlight about translucent, and she informs him that he spends most of his time with his 10-year-old son, and Huey just loses it. So then we get shown aboard the hijacked plane, and the terrorists have already killed one flight attendant, and Homelander better hurry. And they catch the plane and seem to make short work of the terrorists, but little do they know that there's still one up in the cockpit with the captain. And the heroes try to stop him, but a bullet fires, and Homelander's eye fries the control panel, and he's like, well, nothing left to do here but let all these people die. I was like, why couldn't he just Superman that plane and fly it down to safety? Like, is he really not strong enough to do something like that? But Maeve tries to at least save 2 kids, and Homelander's like, no can do, can't leave any witnesses alive. Like, he is just ruthless. But in the grand scheme of things, like, he kind of has a point. Like, it's an all or nothing situation right here. And I mean, basically, if anything bad gets found out, their bill may not get passed, which they're banking their future on. But I don't know about you, but like, I don't know. If the plane was going down right there anyway, like, don't you just take your chances and like jump out and try to grab one of the heroes around the neck and ride them down? Like, obviously they're just going to fling and toss you, but I don't know. If you're going to die anyway, just one last ditch effort, just jump out and be like, I swear I won't say anything, just get me to safety. But on their date, did you know that Starlight was holding back? Like, it just kind of felt like, I remember thinking to myself, like, no way is this soup this bad at bowling. Like, she must really like Huey to be holding back like that to save his ego, and sure enough, she was. And then we see Mother's Milk calls an old friend and finds out that the V is coming from a suit named Ezekiel's church, a suit named Ezekiel, and it's being hidden by his church charity. And our crew spreads out in the train station to try to find young Ripper before the soups do. And on the TV, the news talks about the plane falling off the radar, and it seems to get Billy's attention. It's like, why did he notice that so much? It's like, he didn't even know anything about that plane or anything going on. Like, why did he seem to snap to on that interview so much? Like, does he know more than we think he does, or is he more informed than we thought? Or, yeah, like, does he have friends at NORAD that told him to? I don't know. That was just weird that he seemed to pay so much attention to that. But Frenchie's the first to track down young Ripper and almost gets her to trust him, but then a glitch in the Matrix freaks her out, and she's off and running again. And Mother's Milk makes note that Frenchie went off script again and deviated from the plan yet again. And I don't know, will Frenchie actually become friends with the little wild thing by the end of this, or is he just going to get everybody killed because he was always going off script? And how creepy was that, like on Huey's date, when he looks up and he sees the ghost of Robin just kind of standing there mean mugging him? That was just creepy as hell. And then after the vision, he decides to like go through with it and tap Starlight's phone. And like, first of all, how unrealistic is that? Like, what human is going to leave their phone on the table with a stranger on the first date? Like, there's no way that happens. I thought that was ridiculous. But Mother's Milk is really getting on Frenchie for not following the plan. And he then brings up Mallory again and says he was supposed to be tailing Lamplighter, who is the suit basically that died and made way for Starlight to join the Seven. So giving us a little more info on that. And then we also hear that Lamplighter was just as evil as the rest of them, because he's the one who burned this Mallory's grandkids alive. Like, how villainous are these so-called superheroes talking about burning grandchildren alive? That's just insane. And I'm with Mother's Milk. Like, Billy is shit at giving pep talks. Like, but somehow it actually calmed the situation, and they went back to hunting Rippa. But that Spice Girl pep talk was ridiculous. And how sweet a transition was that, going from the pep talk from the Spice Girls to the Spice Girls playing their biggest track on the Deep pulling that lame ass caper. I thought that was a nice little sweet transition. But how twisted was that conversation of him and the Deep and the dolphin? Like, did he really have sex with that mammal? Like, talking about, like, if I touch it real quick, will you stop talking about it? Like, touch what? Like, what are they getting at with this? Like, that was just disgusting. But that was an amazing end to that sea caper. Of course, it wasn't enough to just show it the dolphin shot through the windshield and out there flopping wildly on the highway. No, we got to take it to that next step and show it getting cremated by a passing semi. Like, that was so gross yet so amazing. I love this show. But young Ripa is finding her way through the subway when through the subway when she spots our crew looking for her, and she takes off running. And as the chase ensues, she tries to escape down a tunnel, but gets scooped up by none other than A-Train. And then as he's running with her on his shoulders, she scratches the hell out of his face. And so, of course, he drops her, but she tries to get away. There's no way you're going to outrun the A-Train, like him of all people. And like the way like he snatched her up and then was like super speed ramming her head into the wall, like, how is she not only not out cold, but how is she not dead? Like, is she basically like a little Wolverine? Like, she would have to be to live through that. That was insane. So Billy's ready to give up. He's like, well, that's that. But Frenchie finds a way to save her by yelling out, hey, everybody, look, it's A-Train. And that was some pretty quick thinking by Frenchie. Now you get all the people around trying to go get selfies and shit and get his attention away. So that gave the little girl a chance to run away. And it's basically saved her life. Like, I wonder if she's going to realize like he's the one that actually saved her life right there. But they track her through the tunnels and finally corner her. And Frenchie again says, let me try to reason with her. Like, when is he going to learn his lesson? It's like, are you kidding me? And like, she probably doesn't even understand what you're saying. You're like, you're just going to get yourself killed. And of course, she does attack him again. And Billy knocks her out with the gas saying, no, she ain't no Spice Girl. So then we go out to the beach and see some of the remnants of the wreckage of the flight that Maeve and Homie tried to save. And the newscasters are already on the scene, so Homelander takes this chance to enter the spin zone. And he switches the narrative of how they could have saved those passengers if only they'd been in the loop in the first place. And it looks like he may just get that bill passed through Congress yet. Like, Homelander's a pretty good actor and basically the ultimate villain. Like, he just switches up his evil doings so he becomes the hero of the story again. Like, this man absolutely knows how to work a crowd. Like, it is amazing. Hey, what's up, fandom? Oh shit! Oh man, just got through it, homie. You just waking up from work? That is it. Episode 3 and 4 just got done. Just got done. You want to jump on real quick and give your little overview of it real quick? Hold on. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Knock that out in 32. Where's it at? I need to have a noise that like dings when I get these messages or whatever. Yeah, you want to jump on real quick and give you a quick overview of what you thought of the first 4 episodes? Jump on real quick. But I gotta say, I am absolutely loving it, and I'm glad I'm doing this rewatch because there's a lot of little odds and ends that I forgot about this one. Stuff that I forgot happened, and people that I forgot were even in it. Like, yeah, it has been like it's been over a year, so yeah, it's been a long minute since I've seen this. So this refresh and rewatch is going to be amazing. Right before I watch season 2, and then who knows? Like I said, maybe right when we get done with season 2, season 3 won't be too far around the corner. That would be sweet. Oh, there he is. Let's see. Get this off. Bada boom, bada bing. What up?
What's up, DJ? I don't know why I thought you're gonna start the stream at 9 p.m. my time. So I set my alarm to 8:30, hoping I was gonna be around. And then I look over, I'm like, hold up, 26 minutes ago, this man started already. Then I was like, maybe I can hit episode 4. And like midway through, you're talking about the deep, getting the dolphin. I'm like, wait a minute, that's episode 4. It's nearly almost done. But damn. But compared to the first 2 episodes, like 3 and 4 are like for me better than the first 2 episodes, in my opinion. Because I was watching these 2 episodes, I was like, yo, let me go watch the rest of the season. It was that pretty good compared to the first 2 episodes I was watching it, like what previous week. Because this was crazy.
Especially I was watching it and I was like doing the outline and like I'd forget to be typing the outline because I just get too into it because it was so good.
Mm-hmm. Like, first off, in episode 3, the future. Like, they knew they're gonna make Funko Pops for this damn series. Because the way how Stewie picked up that Funko Pop of A Train and just threw it across his damn room. And I was like, why? I also watched this episode the second time. Like, why he still has a poster of all these suits in his room still? Like, after his freaking girl Robin dies, I would have like ripped those posters, threw comics, all that stuff out already. But he still had it in his room, and it's even more strange because every time he sees A Train, either as advertised on TV, in person, he freezes up. So like, why is it now that he's like throwing all this stuff away? It just baffled me.
I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a constant reminder each and every day of what happened and who did it to you. It's like, how is that still up? That makes no sense. And what was the Deep talking to that dolphin about? Like, have they already gotten freaky, or are they on their way to getting freaky? Or, I mean, what's happening with that? That was ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. It's like translucent and his craziness, and then you got the Deep with dolphins. Like, what's up here? Now I'm really questioning Aquaman now, and every time I like freaking see his movie, I'm like, would he get with a dolphin or not?
Oh my God, what are they doing down there in the deep dark? Oh, it's frightful, absolutely frightful. What do you think about Huey and Starlight? Does this a couple have any chance, or is he going to blow it because she's going to find out what he's been doing?
I don't know. If she agreed to wearing that freaking new suit, she is pretty much gonna stick with Huey to the end at this rate.
Nah, that'd be cool. So you think you're going to ship this? You're going to ship these two?
Oh, I ship them to the end. I ship them to the end. This ain't like Invincible when you had which one call it Mark and that other chick who were like, dude, why are you still with her? With Huey and Starlight, I'm like, I ship this 100% of the way. I'm good.
Oh, I couldn't imagine watching my girl explode in front of me. No, that's it right there. I mean, what that is. And again, greatest opening of any series I've ever seen. Like, just had me hook, line, and sinker right out of the gate. But my God, so gruesome. Who do you think? Do you think that A Train really needed the V to beat oh boy, Sonic? I think
Of course, he needed it. Like you saw the stats before that race began. Like he was younger than him, faster than him, in almost every way. He was gonna lose to the point that he had to get that compound V.
man, when they showed that finish line, like, oh boy wasn't even in the picture. It wasn't like a photo line finisher. Like he wasn't even in the picture. Like it made him that much
He even
faster.
set like a new record in doing so. If he never took it, he would have been out of the 7. Homeboy would have been the new 7 member and been over for him.
There
And
it is.
also, his freaking girlfriend, what was her name? Crab.
Papa.
There we go. Like she should have dumped this ass the
Right.
moment. I'm like, why is she still? I guess that's love, ain't it? That's
Oh.
love.
Or again, is she just using him for the limelight, trying to get back into the limelight, trying to get close to the 7?
Oh, I didn't think of it that way because now she's a B hero and she once was an A hero.
Right. So maybe she wants back in, and this is her. That's her ticket of staying close to it.
Because hey, the moment that we first see her, she could even pay the rent.
And what's going on with yeah, exactly. And with an ass like that.
Oh my gosh. And they crushed that guy's head. I'm like, really?
Oh
Just
man.
really?
She looks like she could have done that without the V. I'm telling you, bouncing quarters off it. Ridiculous. Oh man, it is absolutely spectacular. What's going on with this little thing? What's her powers going to be other than just like, is she just a little Wolverine? Can she just rip people apart and just nasty with it? Like, how did she not die with A Train smashing her head like that against the wall 500 times?
Who knows? Who knows?
That was insanity to me. Absolutely insanity to me. What's going to happen with the Deep when they find out what he did?
Oh, his career's over.
You think the Deep's going down?
Of course. But also, in it was episode 4, during when Mother's Milk, which the name, love the name of all names again, Mother's Milk. But he was talking to Frenchie how like he screwed up in the past with that hero. What was this name? Like some type of flamethrower or something, or torch, something of that magnitude. And then we learned that that's like literally like the name of that other hero that retired from the Seven. So that was interesting.
The
So
Lamplighter?
there we go. Yeah. So it's like I hope in season 2 they actually like show us that character or something.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of touched on it, but I don't know if we get too much more than that. But I mean, man, the fact that we find out that he torched the little kids,
Mm-hmm.
that's not good. Like that, these are just some evil bastards. Like, my God. But I
That's
mean,
why I'm hoping that Starlight doesn't go that dark path. It
no,
seems like almost every single that and Black Noir, but now it just seems like it's a matter of time. I was watching the season, like in season 2, probably gonna get some effed up shit with freaking Black Noir and his past, and probably Maeve because Maeve dated Homelander, and I'm like, Maeve, with how she was in episode 4, how she's all empathetic with all these people. I'm like, how the hell did you get with Homelander? Was she just like in that bad boy phase? Was she
or
just like,
did you have a choice? Maybe she didn't have a choice. Like, get with me or you're out of the Seven. And she, again, like Starlight, would have done anything to. And maybe that's what we're going to find out later. Like when Maeve saw what happened to Starlight, she knew exactly what happened with her in the deep because maybe Homelander basically pulled the same shit with her when she came in.
possibly? Because he kind of did threaten, like, oh, I can't, I don't know what would I do if I see with someone else.
Yeah, that was crazy. It's like basically he's not dating her, but nobody else can either. What's up with that? Like clingy much? Yeah, that's insane. So yeah, I mean, I was totally stoked. Like I said, I'd be sitting there trying to write this out and what I was trying to get it, and then basically I'd forget and have to rewind it because I got too into the episode. Like that's when you know it's a good show. Like it's got me hook, line, and sinker. Absolutely loving this one. So you like this? You like episodes 3 and 4 better than 1 and 2?
Of course.
I think I have to agree. I mean, we got a little more information, got a little more in-depth character analysis, and yeah, basically I love the first 6 minutes of episode 1, but then it kind of fell off and got a little light after that. But yeah, it picks right back up, and like I said, I am hook, line, and sinker, and can't wait to watch the next 2 episodes, which looks like we will probably be reviewing next Tuesday.
Or you do like 2 episodes still, or we might hit like 3 episodes.
If I can get 3 in, we might even do 3. But yeah, I mean, it takes some time writing these. I barely got these 2 in. I was doing this at like 5 in the morning. So yeah, we shall see. But if I can get them in, we will. If not, it'll be just the next 2. We'll be rocking out 5 and 6. But there's only 8 episodes. So if we do the next 2, and then there's only 2 more after that, and then it's basically done with season 1.
Copy.
So right on, knock those out, and then because I know I want to knock them out too, because we got the What If series getting ready to open up and start coming. So definitely going to be getting on that and talking about it. But right on, everybody. I want to thank everybody that comes through and watches this. Everybody that was here. What's up, Jake? Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you next time, you guys be easy, everybody.